What is poppin', peeps? I'm here to hit you guys up with another edition of the Talent from the Six series. Today we have a talent from the Six who's actually in New York right now. She's in school abroad. We have Senaida. Did I say your name correctly?
Senaida.
Senaida. I'm so sorry about that. Tell them a bit about yourself, Senaida.
Yeah, so I'm currently studying at the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music at NYU, and I'm an independent artist, producer, and music technologist. I'm really interested in merging technology with music and finding new ways to create using technology.
Right on. That's pretty interesting. What are some of the ways that the new innovative ways you found to do that?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on a startup that involves artificial intelligence and music synthesis. So it's synoptic synthesis, and I can't say too much about it right now, but it's a work in progress, and we're hoping to revolutionize the way that producers make music.
That sounds interesting. AI involved in music, that's just like intriguing. Kind of scary, kind of makes you think about Terminator, but I'm pretty sure it's going to come out awesome. So, other than that, what else are you working on right now?
I'm currently working on my second EP. So this past summer, I released my first EP, First Love, and it was a culmination of all those songs that I had written in high school. And so now I'm working on my second EP, which is going to be released in September of this year, and it's called Last Night Was the Last Night of Our Past Lives.
Oh, right on. What were some of your influences and what really inspired you to jump into the music industry?
Yeah, so I started playing music when I was 4. I started as a classical pianist, and for a really long time I wanted to become a professional classical concert pianist. But as I grew up, I slowly realized that that industry is really, really small and it's really hard to make it. I continued to train for 14 years. And I eventually realized that I still wanted to work in music, but I wanted to do something that was more creative and something that was like mine, because I was sort of getting tired of playing other people's music. So I started writing and producing my own songs. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I taught myself how to use a DAW. I use Logic, and I use Ableton now too. But I started in Logic, and then I eventually fell in love with producing because I thought it was a lot like composition, classical composition, and I loved arranging and writing and exploring all the different cool, quirky sounds that I can make.
Oh, that's really cool. Actually, I was checking out your YouTube channel. I see you have videos from 10 years ago. I was like, whoa, you're like one of the vets of YouTube.
Yeah, when I was younger, my dad made a YouTube channel and he started uploading videos of me playing piano. So I still kept those up. It's a bit embarrassing, but you can find those. And now I run my own YouTube channel and I make vlogs.
That's pretty awesome. I always say keep your old stuff up, because I have a lot of cringy videos from 4 years ago that probably got 5 views. But it's just I leave it because I like people to see my evolution, how I grew as an artist. So it's when I was going through your channel, I was like, wow, okay, so it was your dad who did that? That's pretty cool still. Yeah. It's kind of nice to look back on that. So it's as far as your own personal taste, what artists are you a fan of? And what's been your favorite concert that you've been to?
Oh, my favorite concert? That's a tough one. But for my favorite artists, Lido is my biggest producer influence. He produced for Halsey, Chica, some other big artists. And I also really look up to Dua Lipa. Her new album, or her, I guess, new-ish album, her recent album, yeah, Future Nostalgia, was such a hit. It's every single track on that is so good. And Phineas is a big one. Yeah, I think actually one of my favorite concerts that I've been to was probably Anomaly. So he's a crazy jazz pianist producer from Montreal.
Oh, right on. So one quick question I ask everyone from Toronto on this channel. What's the best place to get a beef patty in Toronto?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I usually don't go out for beef patties.
No. Okay, what's your favorite food?
Sushi.
Sushi?
I love sushi.
Where's your favorite spot in Toronto?
There's a place called Toshi. It's in Markham.
Yep.
And it's really, really good. It's like Chef's Counter, and they have some really crazy good stuff there.
Right on. So you performed a lot when you were younger. Have you done any performance more recently?
Yeah, I did a lot more gigs before COVID happened. I'm sure everyone did.
Yeah.
And 2 summers ago, I started my own music festival called the Youth Showcase Concert Series. And basically, I started playing gigs when I was like 16, trying to find places at like restaurants, like bars, coffee shops. And a lot of places were like, oh, we only take performers who are like 18 or older, or like who have more experience. And I was like, well, I just started, so I don't have any experience, obviously. And so I came up with this idea to create a music festival that is catered to young people who are looking for experience, and also just to expose their music to new audiences. And so we've been running that for 2 summers in downtown Markham, and we also did a partnership with Indie Week and Winter Song Music Fest. And we've gotten a bunch of performers. This past summer we did it virtually because of COVID, and we had youth musicians and bands apply from all across Canada. And so we're basically open to any artist or band under the age of 25 from any genre.
That's pretty awesome. You took the initiative, create opportunity for yourself, and created opportunities for others. That's always really awesome. So how have you seen the growth in that from the first year to the second year? Have you seen a lot more people getting involved? As you said, you have a few people, you like Indie Week, you got involved with them?
Yeah, so after our first year, we sort of established ourselves, and like the first year we only got about 40 applications, and then the second year we got over 100.
Oh, nice.
So there's like definitely a market there. I think there's a lot of young people who are eager to perform, and the talent, like the level of talent is incredible. I've met some of like my close friends, a lot of really, really talented musicians from like through this festival, and it's just so incredible to be able to see them like perform and watch them grow and continue to support them on their journey.
Yeah, it's one thing I also find. There's a lot of young talent with amazing, who are like really creative, coming up with some crazy new sounds. It's like really, I'm really excited about the future of the music industry for what I see coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have like a YouTube page where you put the shows from that on or anything?
Yeah, we do. It's just Youth Showcase Concert Series, and we've got all the videos from our past summer, so the one we did virtually. Yeah, and you can go check those out.
Right. At the end of the video, I'll give you a chance to tell all your social media links, and I'll put them all in the description so everyone can check them out. So, what is like the biggest challenge that you have found in the industry?
There's so many. Getting discovered. Honestly, like I try not to get caught up on the numbers, but coming out here to New York, it's like crazy overwhelming because everybody in my program is so talented, and everyone's like making some crazy wacky stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not good enough. Like half the time I feel like imposter syndrome, and I'm like, oh, I don't belong here. But then I also remind myself that like, yeah, I got into this program and I also deserve to be here. And like other people look at my work and they also think that like, wow, this is like some crazy cool stuff that I could never do. And so it's sort of like that energy feeding off of other people and like being inspired and being pushed by the people around me. So it's sort of like balancing that is a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That imposter syndrome, I've heard that from a lot of people in different industries. Like I've interviewed people in movies and music. They've all told me like when you get started, you kind of feel like an imposter. Like you could have been like in the coolest movie or coolest show, but there's always that sense in the beginning. But getting over that is like when you really start to thrive. Mm-hmm. So what like, and was it specifically for the course, or did you just want to experience New York when you moved out there? What was your reasons for going out there?
Well, it's New York University, so obviously we're located here, and this city is amazing. Like, it's everything that I dreamed it would be. Obviously, you see it all in the movies, and it's all romanticized, but, like, even now, I've been here for 5 months now, and I still kind of romanticize it. The culture is amazing, and I live near Washington Square Park, which is, like, lower Manhattan, and there's so much, like, art and culture there. I literally live like a block away from Blue Note, And like sometimes I walk down that street and I'm like, wow, all the great jazz legends have walked this street. They were literally here. And you literally can walk out into the park any day of the week and you'll hear people playing music, just jamming in the park. And it's so beautiful.
Oh, right on. What was the biggest culture shock for you in New York when moving there?
I think there's a lot of, I don't want to, this sounds bad, but it's a lot more dangerous here. Like the stereotype that like Canadians are nice and like all that, like that's very true. Like coming here, I realized that like people aren't Canadian. It's getting used to it is a bit weird. Also, like the government system here is like, I don't want to say anything that'll get me in trouble, but like the government here is a bit interesting and it's like a learning curve because that's like, especially when I first got here, it was around the time of the election and like that's what everyone was talking about. And so I had to like educate myself and like get into those conversations, and like I tried to explain to people that Canadian politics is not as heated as this. Like we don't get any of that, so it's really interesting.
Right on. Yeah, that would be an interesting time to be down there for, especially this past election. How have you found the difference is, like, we're all going through a pandemic. Is there, like, the quarantine measures, how are they down there? Is it similar to Canada with social distancing, mask, or is it different?
Yeah, well, everyone wears masks, obviously. And I think New York is already one of the best cities in the States to be in right now. But I did come back for Christmas break. I came back to Toronto, and I was there for 4 weeks, but I'm pretty sure I didn't go out. Like, I went out, like, twice, maybe. Just because everything was closed and like everything's full lockdown, so it's like super strict, which I think is good because it like prevents more like community spread. And like down here, I always tell people, I'm like, it's basically the same as like normal life, except everyone wears masks and like there's a bit of social distancing, but it's like pretty normal, which is also kind of scary because you're like, why is everything still normal and open and operating? But yeah, it is what it is.
Actually, yeah, in my first episode, I heard the same thing about the UK right now. It's just like, well, with them they're more populated, and people aren't really social distancing as much.
Yeah.
What's the one thing that you can't do now that as soon as you're able to do, you're going to do it?
Go to a concert.
Yeah.
I miss that so much. I think right before I came back to Toronto, Blue Note opened for 1 week. And then they got shut down.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, oh, I really wanted to go to see that. But yeah, definitely, like, I really want to go to concerts. Actually, in April, I think me and my boyfriend are going to this, like, socially distanced classical concert. And they have everyone sit in these little bubbles, like, inflated bubbles. And then there's, like, it's, like, all distanced on a patio. And there's, like, people playing music. So that's going to be an interesting experience. But just like going back to normal live shows, that's all I want.
Yeah, I would literally do anything to buy a $20 beer and get smashed around in a mosh pit right now.
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself? Because everyone more or less during this time, they have a lot more time to reflect on themselves. What have you learned about yourself since this whole pandemic has started?
Oh, it's been tough. Like I graduated from high school and then I started college during the pandemic, and that's always like a really crazy transition in your life. So like in general, you already learn a lot from graduating, becoming an adult. But like during the pandemic, it was just so much weirder. So many people always tell me like, oh, you missed out on all this stuff, but I'm like, it doesn't really feel like that because I never got to experience it. So definitely like enjoying the moment, like living in the moment, and also staying connected with like my friends. That was a bit of a challenge at the beginning because like we thought the pandemic was only going to last for like 3 weeks, and then we ended up never going back to school, and it was like just being able to keep in contact with the people that I want to talk to, and then also coming here to New York, like meeting new people, making new friends. Like I didn't know anybody coming here, so that was a bit of a shift. And then eventually I started to like learn how to make friends, even though we're all sort of like isolated.
So outside of that, you're speaking about New York. Okay, well, you just more or less answered my next question. Making friends, how was that there? Was this, there's ways around it, but you found through it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like I know some people have said it's a bit difficult, and it is because like most of the spaces around campus aren't open, so it's really hard to actually like just meet someone on campus. But then there's like social media, you know, like Instagram, you just text someone, or like everyone makes different group chats for everything.
Yeah.
So you just gotta reach out to the right people, and then eventually you like learn to build the connections. So I think it's still really nice. I've met a lot of friends.
I find like, especially now, more people are online now, so it's so much easier to network. Because in the past, you know, you email someone or message them and they won't get back to you in like an hour or half an hour. Now it's just like people can get back to you right away. So I found it's easier to network with certain people in the industry nowadays. And I find for like, you got a YouTube channel. Are you currently monetized?
Yes, I am.
Have you applied to go to the YouTube space in New York?
No.
Definitely do it. There's a technically you have to be at 10,000 to use it regularly, but you're like at 2,000 subs, right? You still would be able to go to certain events. If you go to the site, I think you get to do free online courses as well.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm gonna check that out for sure.
That's like one of the best perks. Once you get there, they'll give you a point of contact. They help you manage your channel, everything.
That's really cool.
So what were you like when you started doing your YouTube channel? What was your goal? Was it just to have fun with it, or did you want to become YouTube famous?
Yeah, I started. So I started with all those like piano videos, and then I sort of evolved it into more like my production and like music videos and like some songwriting covers, whatever. And then recently, I think last Christmas, I bought a camera, and then I started making vlogs, and I was like, oh, this is like really fun. Like nobody really watches them, but like it's fun for me to make. And then when I came to New York, I shot a move-in vlog, and that went viral.
Oh, nice.
And so I was like, oh, well, now I have to actually start making more videos. And there's like a lot of people actually watching my stuff. But like, I love it still, because like I always get these like comments and like messages from people that are like, oh, I watched your video, like it was so helpful, and like I learned a lot. And then sometimes they like ask for help with their applications. And I just really want to use my channel to help people and like guide them through the process, because college is hard.
Yeah, that is true, and that'd be a useful resource for a lot of people in college. I find like if anyone who starts a channel and they're not trying to become famous, that's when they'll get that one viral video that'll just make them blow up. I find like when you're actually having fun and people could see that in your videos, or you're enjoying what you're doing or talking about, people will subscribe or they'll start viewing it.
Yeah.
It was like, when I started, I didn't even know what the term YouTuber was. I just started making videos for fun. Just like, I was like, if I have kids one day, they can laugh at how dumb their dad used to be. Now look at me, 10,000 subscribers. I was like, how did that even happen?
Yeah, that's incredible.
So it's like, are you more focused on music, or are you more focused on just like everything else? Or is there like one thing that stands out the most for you?
Yeah, I think I want to continue on the like producer path. I just love it so much. I love making music, and I want to keep doing it for as long as I can. But on the other side, like I also want to keep it as more of like a creative outlet. So basically, like I want to do music technology as like my main thing, like developing plugins, software, working with like different organizations. And then on the other hand, I want to produce for artists. And then as my own side project, I want to keep making my own music. But I like don't really want that stuff to blow up, because I also still want it to be mine. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get that. You don't want to be like where the label's telling you, okay, you got to do this. You want it to be true to who you are. You want to create music. You want to create your own creative creation, and you want to enjoy it the way it is. I totally get that. It's just like, I feel that's the beautiful thing about the industry now with social media. People can grow as artists and be themselves. There's like one of the first artists, she went through a lot when she started in the industry that I interviewed in the series. And it just like, she talked about how it's hard for, especially for females, to grow in this industry, how there's a lot of pigs out there. But now with social media out there, you don't have to rely on a label or a network to get seen. You could put a video on YouTube, and you know, it's a matter of eventually the people will get there. Maybe you'll get a couple of views initially, but keep going at it, they'll grow, and you'll get all those eyes, and you don't have to deal with any of the BS that's out there.
Exactly.
I'm gonna ask you a question that I ask every female that I've ever interviewed. Why do nice guys finish last?
That's not true. It's like if you meet the right nice guy, I don't think it's true. Like, honestly, it's just in this like age of social media, I feel like a lot of people think it's like better to put on a mask, but I feel like that's so overrated.
So you see genuine guys more succeeding, like a genuine nice guy could succeed.
Yeah, I think if they have like ambition and they're like confident in themselves, like I don't think you have to be an asshole to be successful. Like that's terrible.
No, I 100% agree with that. I feel it's just a matter, as soon as someone gets the right confidence, anything they put in front of them, they're going to conquer it. It's just a matter of believing in yourself. So what is something about you that like not a lot of people know, but you wish more people knew about you?
Okay, so I do a lot of stuff, like I come off as like really confident and like I have my life together and I have all my shit together and I'm like on my way to success, but like deep down I am a very insecure person, and I constantly like question myself. I constantly question if I'm doing the right thing, if like I'm ever gonna be successful, if I'm just gonna end up as like a Starbucks barista after graduation. And yeah, I just like, not a lot of people know that I also am still growing and learning about myself, and like just because it looks like I have everything figured out, that's not real.
You know, the thing I find, I'm like twice your age, I kind of find you never stop learning. Like you're always, as long as you keep your mind open to learning new things, you'll keep growing as a person. I feel it's like when you say, okay, I know everything, that's when you stop growing as a person. But as long as you have an open mind, it's like, okay, I have a lot to learn. You never act like a know-it-all. Everything out there is possible. Sorry, nothing is impossible for you out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what is 3 things that seem impossible to you right now, but you really want to try in life?
Try to learn. 3 things I want to learn.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to use modular synths when I have enough money to buy some. I want to get better at improvising, because I did 1 year of jazz at Humber in 12th grade, so like this past year, and I learned so much from that, but I also still think like I have a long way to go if I actually want to keep like pursuing that. And then I want to be more confident in myself. That doesn't seem really impossible, but like I think part of me also just doubts that I'll ever be confident enough in myself to be comfortable, but that's something I'm working on.
I find, like, especially at a lot of YouTube events, I find that a lot of people, they aren't confident, but it's just like building their audience helps them. And it's like, there's a famous professional wrestler who had a quote that I always quote: fake it until you make it. It's just like, you don't have to be confident, but as long as the audience sees that, it will come. As long as you project it and put it into the universe, you'll eventually get there. Just going with it and just say, okay, you might not be the most confident, but just act like it. You like act like you are confident, and eventually it catch up to you. Yeah. So who's the one person you definitely, okay, we'll make it 3, that you would want to collab with?
Oh, I have a list. Let's see. Like Lido, for sure.
Yep.
Like working under him would just be absolutely amazing. This goes back to inspirations. I recently wrote a song that was inspired by a Dua Lipa song, and I'm like, damn, if I could get Dua Lipa to sing on this, like that would be amazing. Like the song was written for her. And probably like Billie Eilish. Like honestly, that seems really basic, but like she makes some really crazy cool stuff, and like being able to write with her and like experiment, that would be super cool.
Right on. If you could be in any movie and have any role, what kind of movie role would it be?
has to be a Christopher Nolan movie. I am obsessed with Christopher Nolan, and I recently watched Tenet, and that was really good. Any role? Probably Murphy in Interstellar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right on. What type of role? Like, what kind of type of role? Like, the first answer I got was an assassin.
Like a strong female character role. I feel like, yeah.
Right on. Do you have any strong female role models?
Oh, lots.
Yep.
My mom is one of them, obviously. Trying to think. There's like a music technologist. Oh, I'm getting a blank. I can't remember her name. She did like the Mew Mew gloves.
Yep.
It might come back to me. Yeah. Wow, I'm pulling a blank. Emma Watson.
Emma Watson, right on.
Yeah. Those are the ones I can think of right now.
Yeah. What is your all-time favorite movie?
La La Land.
La La Land, right on.
Yeah. Soundtrack is amazing. The story made me cry. And it's just like so relatable because it's like these characters like going to chase their dreams, and like that's what I'm doing too. So
right on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay, is there anyone who's like been really supportive to you that you'd want to thank, who's been with you along on this journey?
Yeah, like my mom. I honestly could not do anything without her, obviously. But it's like she's just always been with me every step of the way, and we always joke that she's my #1 fan. She's been to every single one of my shows ever since I was little, and I've done like so many shows. And she's like always there supporting me. She remembers every single set that I play, which is crazy because I don't even remember my sets. Like sometimes I'll play a song for her and she's like, oh yeah, you covered that in like that one show you did like in some cafe. And I was like, how did you remember that? But yeah, she's always been so amazing. And yeah, I just shout out to my mom. Thank you.
Right on. So, is there anything you want to say to your fans and any potential future fans?
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I really hope that I inspired at least one of you, and I just really hope that my music touches people and it's relatable, and you guys continue to live very happy and fulfilling lives, because that is just the philosophy of life that I would like to live by.
Right on. So where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, so on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's Senaida XOXO. That's SENAIDA XOXO. And then my YouTube channel is just my name, Senaida, and you can also find me on all streaming platforms under my name. So, yeah.
Okay, peeps, the links to all those will be down below in the description. Now, I have a outro that I get everyone to say with me as we close off the episode. I'm just going to say, stay good, peeps, and then we both say together, keep it blitz.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Stay good, peeps.
Oh, can we do it again?
Yeah. It usually takes a couple tries. Stay good, peeps. And keep it blitz.
Keep it blitz, okay.
1, 2, 3. Stay good, peeps.
Good peeps.
And keep it blitz. You want to try one more?
Sure.
Stay good, peeps.
Stay good, peeps.
And keep
it blitz.
Awesome. All right, peeps. We're going to go to the outro video, and I'll give you a preview of the next interview. Thank you so much again, Senaida.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, peeps, I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of Talent from the 6. Now be sure to go down the description box down below and check out all the links to Senaida's social medias. She has a pretty awesome YouTube channel, and she has some great music that she does. Be sure to go check everything out. And that festival she was talking, that youth festival, sounded really cool. Go check it out, support her and everything that she does. Now for episode 4, it's actually one of the episodes in this series that I am the most excited for. All of these outros I film at the end of filming the next episode. I'm filming this before because of how excited I am for this episode. I'll be interviewing an established name in the entertainment industry in Toronto for the last 20 years. Producer of multiple series, I think about 12 or 14. Has his own production company, his own studio. Actually, the person who I refer to as my mentor in past videos, Rob Toss. He was my point of contact at the YouTube Space Toronto. We haven't gotten to work together since the YouTube Space is closed. Supposed to work together around Halloween, I think, before we went back into a lockdown, essentially, the last time. So that's why I got hold. So until things kind of get back to normal, we can't really do the studio collab, but when we can, we will. But for now, you guys are gonna get an awesome interview. He's been in the entertainment industry for over 20 years, big in the Toronto scene. He actually did several series similar to what I'm doing with this series, where he highlighted fellow Canadian talent and Toronto talent and gave them a platform to shine. I'm very much looking forward to getting to work with him again. So, peeps, stay tuned for it, and be sure to follow me on everything TBX420 Club so you don't miss it. Starting off with the channel you're watching this video on, the TBX420 Club on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, whatever you feel I deserve. Go in the comments and be heard. Tell me what I'm doing right, tell me what I'm doing wrong, so I can make the changes that keep you guys happy. Notification bells, all that good stuff. You see down there, there's a few things you've never seen before. I got a merch store. Yeah, that's where I get all this cool stuff. Go check it out on Teesprings. Support your boy. And also, there's that join button. And you're like, what's that join button? What does that do? Well, that, peeps, that is the official TBX420 Club channel memberships. I don't really want to tell you about that because there's stuff that I don't want people to see. There's some very embarrassing things of myself on there that I don't want people to see. But I cannot deny the peeps because you're going to laugh your asses off when you see it. So go. As little as like $2 a month, you get to see some exclusive goodies, exclusive lives, you get to talk to me personally, and giveaways every month. Last month, I did a PS5 giveaway. I plastered it everywhere. Only 2 people entered that giveaway. So they both got prizes. One got the PS5, one got a cash prize. Because I appreciated them both equally. Be sure to follow me on all my other social media. TBX420 Club on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. All one word. TBX420 Snapchat. Video games, TBX420 on PSN. TonyMon420 on Xbox Live. If you want my more mature, my hardcore, the stuff that I can't say on any other platform, my X-rated content, follow my official podcast, TBX420 Club. Just search TBX420 Club wherever you listen to podcasts. I think the last episode series we did was talking about some crazy strip club stories from my delinquent teenager days. Stay good, peeps, and keep it